Good day. On November 25, on the sidelines of the Ukrainian authorities, the following rumors, gossip and insiders were discussed. Inside. The source said that the office of the president will go to the parliamentary elections with three main political forces: the Zelensky-For-Ukraine Bloc, the Servant of the People, and the party of Arestovich. On Bankovaya they are going to take the majority in the Rada again, but now several political projects and parties of spoilers will be used for this. Opinion. At Bankova, they decided to stop as much as possible information about a possible total blackout of the country's energy system, so as not to sow panic as with the invasion of the Russian army into Ukraine. It was not difficult to heat the gyms and equip them with large generators. It took 3 months and it was possible to bring in whole trains from the EU. Take Kyiv or Odessa as an example, where there are several dozen schools in the region, which allows you to accept thousands of those in need in cold weather, and such a tent is of little use, but the PR campaign is good. Backstage rumors. On the sidelines, there were rumors that a serious battle of the internal political community in Ukraine was starting. The National Anti-Corruption Bureau of Ukraine is trying to purge all political actors of oligarch Akhmeto. Akhmeto at this moment begins the process of financing new political forces. Everyone is preparing for the election of 2023, even though there is a war in the yard. Parliamentary portfolios are important to everyone. The question is why? Yes, in order to have access to the schematosis and feeder. Gossip. Gossip began to spread that no one is being let out of the country for no reason now under the pretext of there is no electricity, the base is down, the server is down. The main reason for all this is Zelensky's promise to European partners that if you give money, then I will not let anyone into Europe. Why do you think the EU decided to allocate money to Ukraine for 2023? We think one of the reasons given is the promise. Let's see how it will be, but the trend is very bad. Especially at the time of the energy crisis, people will stupidly be kept at the border or build camps for them, not letting them out of the country as slaves, so as not to disturb the masters who paid off. Exposure. The office of the president received a refusal from Western curators to promote the Kherson case by analogy with Bucha. In the West, information campaigns on Ukraine began to slow down, which strongly displeases Bankova.
Такую картину получаем. Это вчерашний прилет. Вот такие масштабы.
There are more and more socio-economic problems in Ukraine, and less money. Although the sums allocated were large, the costs for Ukraine's self-sufficiency increased tenfold. According to forecasts in December, January, and February, there will be a need to fully provide food, water, heat to more than 15 million people. These are additional costs of $2 to $4 billion per month. Insider. The source said that the office of the president is ready to resume the transit of Russian ammonia for export through Ukraine, despite the fact that the money will then go to war. For Bankova, it is now important to maintain international support, and the West needs ammonia. In return, Ukraine will receive an exchange of prisoners according to the all-for-all formula, for which collaborators are now being detained in the Kherson and Kharkiv regions. Inside. The source said that the most difficult is the restoration of critical infrastructure in Kyiv, due to the large amount of damage caused by missile strikes. Air defense is unable to protect the energy infrastructure of the capital, which caused damage to most of the substations. Opinion. Elena Zelenskaya told the BBC about the readiness of Ukrainians to live without light and heat. More than 90% of the respondents answered that they are ready to endure it for 2-3 years if they see the prospect of our membership in the European Union, Olena Zelenska says. A very strange wording, proving complete isolation from the people. People are ready to endure for the sake of victory, but not for the sake of the EU. Although, what difference does it make what the Ukrainians are ready for? Lena's auditorium is West. The purpose of this passage is to show the residents of the EU that for the sake of life in the EU, in Ukraine, people suffer hardships. And it's also good to see the prospect of membership. Something about a specific entry is no longer being discussed? Just perspective? The cuckoo praises the rooster because he praises the cuckoo. See you soon.